We're going old school style. Facebook and IG. Say hello, so to speak. All right. And we're going old school style from my auntie's sitting room. The wife and the newborn Princess Kobe Morrison, they're downstairs. The mother-in-law's downstairs. I snuck away Friday night so I can teach. I want to serve my gift and I want to teach. I realized that when it comes to blogging, like what we many times use IG for or Facebook or social media, as influential as I may be on social media and have been present the last several years, that's not my thing. But I like using the platform to teach a message, to give some game, to serve my purpose, right? Serve my calling. Like that's what I like the platform for, is to be able to like whatever God inspires me, puts in my heart, to be able to sow seeds, right? And leverage my talent. So sometimes it's cool, just kick it and just build and kind of like, virtually fellowship, so to speak. But really, I like passing down legacy game. So God gave me this gift to translate, and then he gave me this unique journey of going from the lows of our poverty, welfare system, WIC system, Section 8 system, and all that, through free lunch in school, to high school dropout, to in the streets at 15, to 25 years old, to 2.5 years in prison, 7 different prisons, 3 different states, right? I'm just telling you like my journey, right? So through all these experiences, I'm extracting game and information, and I'm extracting like just perspective on life, going through all the way through my mid-20s, leaving the streets, getting into real estate, becoming a realtor, becoming a loan officer, becoming a branch manager, becoming an investor, a flipper, starting other businesses, a nightclub owner, owning liquor licenses, getting into owning a record label, going into multifamily housing, going into celebrity realtor, going into all these different assets, right? Author, TV personality, right? Like all these different things. I'm extracting experiences and I'm meeting people and I'm getting game. And then during that same time, I end up becoming conscious in 2015, and I'm realizing like, before quote unquote conscious, I end up getting my calling in 2012. And in 2012, God's like, take care of my people and I'll take care of you. And I want you to bring my people closer to me. And the way in which I was kind of like instructed or given like my revelation of how I do that was through teaching. So I started teaching in high schools and teaching in prisons and juvenile detention centers. Like it's all before online, right? Just teaching, because I've realized that what I learned from 22 years old in a mortgage office, 25 years old investing, 27, 28 years old, making my first millions in real estate, doing multiple deals, flips, wholesales, all these different experiences, then what I learned the last 15 years of my life, all the way to fund manager today, all the way to 3-time author today, all the way to developer today, syndicator today, coach, mentor, right, influencer, activist, to all those things. I learned and extracted all this information. But what I learned then was my greatest gift was being able to translate solutions and translate higher complex things that I've learned along my way back to the people. Right? Like that's like my whole thing. Like that's like my why, my mission, my purpose. But it's all spearheaded from like, yo, bro, you got this robust life. Like you literally were on NBC on Today's Show. You really were on NBC Open House TV. You literally could tell someone, you literally spoke to ExxonMobil and taught their kids on their parent-teacher day on credit and real estate. You literally went around the country teaching in corner classes. You touched on the people. You seen poverty. You literally were in the streets. You were in the trap. Like, so you were on parole, on probation. You were on work release. You were on house arrest, right? You were upstate New York. You were downstate ECI prison. Like you had these experiences. And there's a lot of different people you can touch with these experiences. And if you can then show them, not just to inspire them, but at least how you did it. Like how you see the world, how you see success, how you see beating the trap, how you see building a legacy. Like you got multi-million-dollar life insurance policies for yourself and your children. Like you have intentional legacy conversations with your wife. You were intentional about choosing a wife, intentional about purchasing a home with your family at the right time. You were intentional about building up other proteges around you to carry on a torch so you have a succession plan. So your legacy can live and you're just not an influencer forever. And you literally have organizations and businesses that can sustain without you. And you're intentional about group economics and raising capital in the total real estate fund and funding minority developers around the country and offering up to $3 million a day of transactional funding, $90 million a month, up to $1 billion a year of transactional funding. You are intentional about all these different things. So let me get into some legacy game. I ain't gonna hold this all night, but my point is, it's time for me to teach. Like that's when I teach to you all, I'm teaching to you from 20 years experience. 1999 was the first transaction I ever did in real estate. 1999. So when I'm teaching you all, I'm teaching you everything I learned from that first experience, giving my mom $3,000 out of my Timberland shoebox to buy our first house, 69 Center Street in Somerville, New Jersey, through an FHA program, a house that appreciated over $100,000 in value in 4 years. That's not really a complex real estate strategy. I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is 1999 was the first time I touched the game. So when I'm teaching you about real estate, I'm teaching you about what I learned in mortgages in 2002 at Flexible Benefits Mortgage Company as a loan officer getting a 70-30 loan split when I first learned about building credit in conventional loans, FHA loans, VA loans, points, LTVs, ARVs, purchase ratios, debt to income ratios, FICO scores. When I first learned about all that in 2002 at 22 years old as a trapper on parole. So when I'm giving you the game, I'm giving you the game from perspective of not just what I learned the last few years that enabled me to spearhead and be a catalyst for our community to practice the largest active group economics of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, raising $11.3 million of capital in under 2 years, and the first black-owned real estate crowdfund in the history of America, syndicating and organizing 15,000 investors from 22 different countries to build the Black House in Atlanta and do all the other funding we've done and created 100 jobs that we've done, and building a model to have a vehicle for our community to have its own capital resource, right? Like just trying from scratch as a trailblazer pioneer, like just no blueprint. But prior to all of that, to build the Jay-Morrison-Academy to be a twice over Inc. 5,000 company, number 588 fastest growing companies in the country. To backtrack past that to syndicate 100 plus units of multifamily housing throughout the country, right? So what I'm saying is that all the game education that I give us is coming from like mad places. It's not just coming from one perspective. It's coming from the things that I've actually done, like everything from my own bankruptcy to my own credit woes, to my own foreclosures, to bouncing back, to creating businesses, to LLC syndication, to my own human resource and hiring issues, my own technology issues, my own accounting controls, procedure, process, administrations, like all that I'm learning through this process of building something hopefully substantial for my family. I'm giving all y'all that game and all that perspective coming from who I've always been and where I come from in real life. Coming from the guy that never been to college, coming from the kid that dropped out 11th grade to go back to the TOPS alternative program at Somerset Vocational High School, to go to school from 10 to 3 when the other kids went to school from 7 to 2. Like I'm giving you all that game and all that perspective from just where I come from, what I've learned along the way, and what I believe could be a benefit to us. So that's where I give game based on things I've done and built and failed and succeeded in and tried and attempted and conquered and mastered and all that in real life. So that's where everything comes from for me. So let's talk about legacy. Tonight's lecture is the 5 principles of financial legacy. Now, I specifically said financial legacy, right? I specifically said that because legacy also can be your reputation. Legacy can also be your reputational legacy, meaning like who you are or who does the world see you to be, right? Who are you remembered to be by the world? That's also your legacy, right? So there's also a narrative legacy. There is a narrative legacy that we all hold. But tonight I want to focus on your specific financial legacy, right? So there's 5 things that we went over. And on my IG Live, I'm going to bring in one of my proteges, one of my star proteges, somebody I've been grooming since 2014, who's a partner and a brother and all that. I want to bring in Isaac Grace in a second on my IG, but I want to give us these 5 principles real quick. So I want to backtrack into them. So the last principle of legacy is, because the definition of legacy is the amount of cash or assets one leaves behind for their heirs. So again, this is like notepad season, pencil pen season. This is like game season. I don't got, both my hands have two phones, so I can't write on a whiteboard. And again, I'm in the family room right now, in my auntie's sitting room. But I still want you guys to take notes if you can. It's like real lecture, real game time. So the definition of legacy is the amount of cash, financial legacy, the amount of cash or assets one leaves behind for their heirs. That's flat out what it is. So we got to bust that down. So what are assets, right? So assets are the hold on, guys. Facebook. There we go. Got IG back. I had technical difficulty. So one of the first principles of legacy, right, is the amount of cash, wealth, or assets one leaves behind for their heirs. So when it comes to us building up our asset column, so the last principle of legacy is passing our assets down. That's the last thing, is that how we have to prepare ourselves in wills, in trust, in what's called our estate planning. That's the last thing, is your estate planning. When you're building wealth, you need to do an estate plan on how you actually pass down wealth to your heirs. That means the deeds of your houses, your business assets, your crypto, your stocks, your 401ks, whatever you have that is of value, has an ability to appreciate in value. So many times in our community, there is no estate planning. There is no probate plan. So we never leave an intentional legacy because we actually never leave the instructions behind, right? So remember, this is the fifth, so I'm working backwards. The fifth principle, right? I'm gonna work down to the first principle. The fifth principle of building financial legacy is your ability to pass down your assets to your heirs. Otherwise, there is no legacy. You own 30 properties. You got 300,000 under your in the shoebox under your mattress. You got a bunch of watches. You got a couple side businesses. But when you die, there's no instructions. There are no instructions as to who in your kingdom, in your dynasty, gets what that has actual value. So the first thing is us, right? And that's something that we teach. We're going to get to, but we teach the concepts of estate planning and wealth creation. Boom. Step 4, working backwards, right? The 5 principles of financial legacy. So step 5 is the ability to pass down assets to your heirs, knowing who you need to call, what conversations you need to have proper estate planning, probate planning, right? So there's actually game on that. Then next is protecting your assets, right? So your cash or assets. So first is passing down your cash or assets. Fifth is passing down your cash or assets. Then our 4th principle, walking down, is the ability to protect our cash or assets. So that comes into insurances and tax mitigation strategies. If you make a lot of money, but you don't know how to mitigate your taxable exposure, right? It's not beating taxes. It's not getting over on taxes. It's minimizing, or excuse me, the better word is mitigating your taxable liability and your tax exposure. So if you and we get more savvy on how to mitigate our tax exposure, we don't make the millions just to give the millions back away, right? We actually make the millions and we retain more millions. Therefore, we can pass more down to our heirs, the 5th principle, because we protected our assets and we maintained them and we retained them. And we protected them not only through tax mitigation strategies, but we protected them through insurance strategies, life insurances, business insurances, health insurances, etc. We were able to protect our assets, right? Jewelry insurance, art insurance, right? All those insurances, homeowners insurance, all the insurances protect our assets, right? So we count down from 5 to 1. 5, pass down assets and cash to your heirs. 4, protect your cash and assets for your heirs, right? 3, we got to understand how to grow our assets and our cash, right? So we want to grow our assets and cash because you can't, there's not much to protect and much to pass down if you haven't grown your cash and your assets. You're minimized in your legacy because there's not much to pass down and there's not much to protect. So we got to get more informed, which many of us are doing, on new strategies on how to grow our existing wealth, starting from where we're starting at. Like anything, getting more equipped, understanding stocks in the market, understanding real estate landlording, just 1 to 4 units, understanding real estate syndicating, commercial property, understanding real estate, no money down, just understanding outside the real estate. It don't all got to be real estate, understanding cryptos, understanding Forex, getting a understanding of not meaning doing. I'm not saying do every hustle. I'm not saying do everything that seems like a quick flip, whatever scheme. I'm saying process the information and be able to make an informed decision for your family as a CEO of your last name, the leader and visionary for your last name, the leader and visionary of your family. Get more information so you can process more information and make more informed decisions. Everybody write that down, the word informed decisions. Your goal in growing your wealth is for you to become privy to more opportunities of wealth growth, to take the time to dissect them, ask the tough questions, get the coaches and mentors to help explain them to you, the advisors, whatever you got to do, but get in front of more opportunity and newer strategy for you to figure out other ways to grow your wealth outside of what you know today. You got to constantly be a learner. And then you can lead your family from a perspective of actually knowing some stuff. And I want to say some ish, but I'm going to just not curse on this one. Right? You can literally, you can't lead your, if it's an opportunity to do a trailer park home or do a mobile park home, right? And your family has some rural land in South Carolina, North Carolina, Texas, Mississippi. It's not that hard to do a trailer park home. It's mad easy to take an acre of land or whatever the proper zoning is for a trailer park home in your particular territory and bust it down by subdividing it, which costs almost nothing, to then have the lots that you need or have the lots per acreage that you need to then offer leases of mobile homes on some land your family got in a rural town you're doing nothing with. It's not even that hard. It's just, do you have the information? Do you even know what questions to ask to even start a mobile home? Or it might be to get a warehouse or an Airbnb or a fund or a tax business or whatever it is. Yo, all that can grow your wealth. Do what you want. Do what excites you. Yo, there's 110 ways to do real estate. There's 1 trillion ways to do business. You don't got to do it the way nobody does it, but the way that works for you and your family. But can you be informed enough to know what works for you and your family? How do you even know what works for you and your family and you're not even informed enough to even process the information? You got to get that knowledgeable, just baseline knowledgeable, fundamentally knowledgeable so you can at least process basic information about businesses, financial opportunities, and then say, or know what you don't know. Mind you, it's a lot I don't know, tons. But wise enough to know what I don't know. That's the wisdom, right? And I'm wise enough. Here's the super wisdom, right? The wisdom is to be wise enough to know what you don't know. The super wisdom is to be wise enough. There's some things that you don't even know that you don't know. Game. Bruh, sis, listen to me. There's some things that you don't even know that you don't know. So you can't even make a move forward or try to hire an expert for it because you don't even know it exists. You don't even know you don't know it. There's a strategy out there right now to save you tens of thousands of dollars that you don't even know you don't know. There's a strategy out there to help you build wealth for your family that you don't even know you don't know. So number 3 is, again, counting down is growing our wealth. So 5 was passing down our wealth. The 5 principles of financial legacy is 1, right? Or 5, counting down, passing down our wealth. 4 is protecting our wealth, right? Our cash, our assets. 3 is growing our cash, our wealth, and our assets. 2, to my community, Black people, Africans in America, and our descendants, our cousins, our brothers, our sisters throughout the diaspora, everywhere. Listen, especially to us. It's a message of love. The second principle, as we're counting down 5 to 1 in the 5 principles of family legacy or financial legacy, is keeping your cash, your wealth, and your assets. Remember, 5 was passing it down. 4 was protecting it. 3 was growing it. But 2 is keeping it. Bro, you can make all the money in the world. But if you're not financially responsible enough to budget, to monitor your spending, to monitor your purchases, to monitor your purchases of assets more than liabilities, if you're not disciplined enough or in the know enough or committed enough to have some stewardship, it's called, some fiduciary responsibility over your savings, over your cash, over your wealth, over your assets. Yo, if you don't keep the money, there's nothing to grow. There's nothing to protect, and there's nothing to pass down if you don't keep the money. It makes no difference if you got 17,000 hustles. You're going to be a slave to the hustles. You never then have a full legacy. You're just passing down your family a bunch of debt because you over-leveraged yourself because you weren't good at keeping the money. Fifth principle, passing it down. Fourth principle, protecting it. Third principle, growing it. Second principle, counting down, is keeping your cash, wealth, and assets. Live a more moderate lifestyle. Don't get swayed by the gram. Do you. And make sure by all means, you betting on yourself, that's fine. You betting on businesses, that's fine. You gambling, rolling the dice, that's fine. I definitely recommend you be as aggressive as you can be. If you're an aggressive person and you're looking to build financial legacy, before 30 is when you go in. Because if you don't hit by 30, I'm talking about if you want to go for the fence, like grand slam. If you don't hit by 30, there's still enough time to bounce back and go get it again, right? Now, if you're not that aggressive, I say be conservative and don't swing for the fences by 30. Just try to get on base. Get you a double, a triple maybe, a couple singles, bunt a few times, right? But if you're an aggressive person, do it by 30, go in. But don't do so from a perspective of, I'm going to blow my money now because I know I'm going to get it right back. Markets change, timing change, climates change, pandemics change. Don't you go blow all your money, all your legacy, all your cash, all your assets, hoping you're going to get it right back. Ego driven, so egotistical, or so pride driven, or so on your magic carpet, I call it. You so in your bag that you just feel like the money will always come forever. It's going to just flow forever. Nah, that's not legacy principles. That's fun principles. That's turn-up principles. That's culture principles. That's not legacy principles. Legacy is moderation and make sure that you are working on keeping your wealth. All right, so that's that. So we did 5. Again, passing it down. 4, protecting it. 3, growing it. 2, keeping it. The number one principle, right? The number one principle when it comes to, or where you start, right? So I'm not saying it's the number one, but it's where you start. Where you start to building financial legacy is you got to be a money earner, a money generator, a revenue generator, income creator, a cash creator, an asset creator. If you do not know how to spark money, cash, currency out of thin air, if you can't spark it off, if you can't generate the original revenue, then there is nothing for you to keep. Therefore, nothing for you to grow. Therefore, nothing for you to protect. Therefore, nothing for you to pass down. The number one principle and the number one fundamental foundation I want to give you guys tonight in you creating a financial legacy for yourself is, yes, you got to pass it down. Yes, you got to protect it. For sure, you got to grow it. And yes, we want to keep it. But there's nothing to keep, to grow, to protect, or pass down if you don't know how to create it. It's the game of creating cash. Can you create cash out of thin air? That's the number one skill that any family CEO can have, is the ability to create cash, currency, income, revenue, assets out of thin air. That's the number one skill set. And I'm going to bring on my protege, Isaac, in a minute. That's the number one thing that I've mastered during my 21-year real estate career, is the ability to syndicate, to organize, to broker, to leverage all the multifacets of asset classes, of strategies, of revenue creating opportunities in real estate and business to be able to create cash out of thin air. That's what all my students are learning. They're learning it in real estate by the simplest of wholesaling to transactional funding using 100% of our money with no credit checks, all the way to deal syndication on multifamily apartment complexes, leveraging little to no cash, all the way to business ownership and syndication, all the way to joint ventures and partnerships, all the way to creative financing, hard money financing, private money financing, leveraging equity partners in the capital stack, LLC corporate veil strategies. All this information is all about how do I create from nothing on my chessboard some startup cash, capital, and currency to then go keep, grow, protect, and pass down for my heirs. That's the number one skill you can ever have, is how do I take nothing and make it something and create cash? And we've been teaching that skill in many different forms and elevating it every single year since 2014 in our school, the Jay-Morrison-Academy, which I'm going to bring on Isaac Grace as an alumni of my 2014 class. 2014, we're in 2020 now, going 2021. I'm not talking about a school or real estate course that launched last month, 6 months ago, 13 months ago. I'm talking about a real estate business, a wealth education institute that we've launched in 2014. And I'm bringing on one of my proteges who learned under me, who learned even how to find other mentors and continue to grow even outside this knowledge I can give them. But he's always transparent about giving and paying homage to the fact that he was a 21-year-old in 2014 that knew nothing about legitimate real estate or business and was able to birth a real estate and multiple serial businesses under his training, right? So I'm going to introduce you guys to Isaac. What I want to give to everyone on this call is that Isaac and I, what we established was I allowed my student to learn and become successful in his own right, over 100 deals, grossing over 1.2 million in real estate revenue in the last 7 years, creating a six-figure tax business for himself by 27 years old. And now he's coaching and mentoring under our organization, and in partnership with me with our Cash Buyers Academy, we're coaching people. And so now he's teaching the game that I taught him 7 years ago, which allows me to go spend more time with my wife and Kobe, Milan, Morrison in London and Anna and my family. That's real legacy. Is me passing the game to my protege, grooming him for 7 years, and him now taking over and coaching and leading the organization and giving you all another example of real success and of this ability to create cash from thin air. And so we want to let you guys know about Black Friday. We want to coach you in 2021. Isaac and I are doing a year of coaching, not just courses. We're giving you 200 plus courses. That's for free. 200 plus courses on real estate, business, and credit. But we want to actually coach you with 4 coaching sessions a week. 4 coaching sessions a week for a whole year. And we want to teach you these strategies of creating cash, keeping cash, growing cash, protecting cash, and passing it down. And so we want you guys to go to legacyblackfriday.com to get advantage of this Black Friday through Cyber Monday coaching special, 90% off. We're coaching you for less than $500 for 1 year. Coaching you 4 video sessions a week in our private group coaching, legacyblackfriday.com. And that is not, again, 200 free courses, yes, on commercial real estate, on home ownership, on wholesaling, on landlording, on business, on corporate veils, on financial models, on business planning, on business marketing, on credit. Yeah, all that, 200 plus free lessons, but we're going to coach you as well. All that for under $500. 90% off, we're saving you $6,191. We're saving you $6,191. That's legacyblackfriday.com. So we want to really put you on for real. Not just videos on what to do. We have some of the best video classes and lectures in the industry. We know that. But not just what to do. We want to teach you exactly how to do it. We want to walk you through and do role playing with you, do scripts with you. We want to go do student hot seats with you. I'm talking about we want to walk you through. Like you join up, you got 4 nights a week that you can be coached. 4 nights a week for an entire year for under $500 plus 200 free courses. So I'm typing this in right now, legacyblackfriday.com. Then I'm bringing Isaac on. But I want to make sure. And I'm bringing Ike because at 27 years old, he became everything that I saw in him in 2014. And he'll tell you, I was like, yo, bro, it's more for you than all of this. When he was in the streets, I told him it was more for him than the streets. When he got out of the streets, out of entrepreneurship, was kind of dibbling dabbling. I said, bro, it's more than you just being a wholesaler. When he closed his first 30 wholesale deals, like, good for you. You made 100,000 wholesaling. Great. There's more for you than that. When he found his purpose, I'm like, yo, it's more for you than that. So I want to bring on Isaac Race in a second. But I want you guys, I want to coach you all. I want Isaac to coach you all. I want him to give you the tutelage. I'll be on calls. I'm doing my Monday night call. You get a year of coaching for 1 year, $497 for 1 year, plus 200 free courses. So I'm typing that in IG right now. LegacyBlackFriday.com is the website. I hate typing and talking at the same time because you just look so weird online. Like your eyes aren't focused. You're like half talking in between stuff. I hate it, but we do what we got to do. All right, cool. Boom. I'm posting it here. And I'm pinning it. The link is also in my bio. Again, the goal is to give you guys as much information that not just that we learned, that I learned over 21 years, or Isaac has learned the last 7 years, but that I'm continuing to learn. Like I'm learning every day. I'm learning all type of new stuff. New stuff about real estate, and stuff about business, and stuff about credit. Like the game is always changing. Life insurance, tax strategies, 1031 tax exchanges, opportunity zones, syndications, funds, like all that. There is a one-on-one coaching option. That's a whole different. That's not 90% off one-on-one coaching, because that's our personal, intimate time. But this private group coaching is 90% off plus 200 free courses. You guys can get that LegacyBlackFriday.com. Let me bring Isaac in, man, so you guys can hear from him. Facebook, hopefully you guys can hear Isaac as well. Let me tap in King Ike. Again, this is my star protege. Over 100 real estate transactions, grows over 1.2 million, six-figure tax business, 27 years old, no college education, high school dropout, came from the streets, cleaned it all up, makes it look good, and he loves God, he takes care of his daughters, and he's constantly striving to be a better man. That's what we about. He wants his reputational legacy to match his financial legacy. He was a asshole with a bunch of money. That's not our swag. To be an asshole with a bunch of money, to be a bad person with a lot of money. How about being a good man, a good person, a good member of your community, a good husband, a good father, a good person, and leave a good financial legacy too. We on that type time. So let me bring in King Ike real quick. I'm trying to get the request. Boom, boom. All right, I'm bringing him in Facebook. Let me know if you guys can hear. I might even turn the phone around for you all while he hops on. King Ike. Yo.
What's going on, brother?
Peace. I'm glad you could hop on. I told you tonight, man. I know we were planning on Ike together, but I had to teach, bro. I had a whole lesson.
Nah, you all good, man. Like you said, man, I'm sitting back. I'm reaping the game. Like you said, we sat back and talked about them five principles, man, and just to hear it to start to come to life and see how people are reacting to it. It really makes sense, man. And I'm thankful to be on this live. Appreciate all of our family that's on tonight. Happy holidays to you all. God bless you all. Hope you guys enjoy some good turkey, some good mac and cheese, spend some time with your family, and was able to take time away from work and really focus on that family side of this legacy too.
Facts.
Don't spill nothing over there. Yeah, focus that time on the family too. We work hard in business. I've been grinding 2020, man. And Jay, you can feel free to ask me questions as we go through this. But 2020 was a year where I really just worked as hard as I possibly could. Like, this is one of my hardest working years. And to be at the end of the year and just see myself months ahead, years ahead, because of all the work I've done, I'm able to sit back on this Thanksgiving holiday, have my daughter here from New Jersey. I'm here in Atlanta. Get away from work and business and be able to do fun things and just cherish the moments, because in legacy, memories are also part of legacy as well. And those are things that we're going to be breaking down over time when we build out this whole legacy over lifestyle, this whole legacy movement. So, King, I'm thankful to be on tonight, brother.
Yeah, so I want anybody has questions for Isaac, you can ask some questions, but what I want to do is I want you to tell the double audience here, Facebook, IG, I want them to tell me, I want to interview you real quick. Okay, in my interview, what is one of your, so 27-year entrepreneur, right? You own multiple businesses. So right now, tell me about some of the businesses that you own, that you participate in.
Yes. So I own currently right now 4 businesses. My first business actually is my first business is my coaching business. So I'm actually a partner with Jay Morrison, and I own my own coaching business. Also, I have my real estate wholesaling company, right? So I have my Jersey Shore Property Solutions. Then I have my development company, right? And my buying and holding. And then I own my tax company. So I have 2 real estate companies, a tax company, and then like a consultant educating business.
That's dope. So 27, you got 2 real estate companies. You got 1 real estate company for the wholesale, and then 1 real estate for your long-term holds in your portfolio.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right, so 20 or I kind of always give this pitch about you, you know, again, doing your first 100 deals. So how quick did you get to 100 deals? The time you got serious about the business?
Yes, I started in 2014. We hit 100 deals in 2019. So we just got there. You know, 2019, mid 2019 was when we hit 100 deals. So that was 5 years. 5 years about.
Gotcha. Dope. Super dope. So what's the proudest moments of business?
I think my proudest moments of this business, there's so many, but I think some of the proudest moments of my business was 2 moments. The first proudest moment was when I was able to turn this business to a lifestyle, right? So when I became a full-time entrepreneur and I realized that real estate was my life, that was one of my biggest moments. And then my next biggest moment was when I did that same thing from a financial standpoint, when I was able to allow entrepreneurship to pay all my bills and handle my lifestyle.
Solid. That's financial freedom is a great goal.
Yes, sir.
So everyone's asking how long is the deal going on? Our Black Friday special is going through midnight, Cyber Monday, 11:30 Cyber Monday, $497. That's $500 for a year of coaching. Let's talk about this. You have a coaching business that we're partners in. What is one of your highlights on the coaching side, right? Through your experience being a coach, what's one of your highlights or moments there?
I mean, I think my biggest moment of coaching, man, honestly, was this year when we launched Cash Buyers Academy. I think previously to starting Cash Buyers Academy, you kind of pulled me into the coaching industry when it wasn't one of my call-ins, or I didn't even think I was qualified or equipped to be teaching other people how to do this business. But, you know, through coincidence and just us both being intentional on purpose, you was able to bring me on as a coach. And then I got passionate about helping people become successful in this business. And through our journey, like you said, we've coached hundreds of students, influenced hundreds of students. But when we sat down earlier this year and really planned out what's next for this journey, for the culture, and we mapped out Cash Buyers Academy and what we wanted it to be and what role I was willing to take on to make this happen, and to watch it launch and watch hundreds of students join and all the testimonials, I think that's been my biggest highlight as a coach, launching Cash Buyers Academy in August of 2020.
That's love. Yeah. I think one of the cool parts about Cash Buyers Academy is that we took group coaching to another level where our focus was how do we hold people's hands more? Like, listen, we understand everybody can learn video, not everyone can learn all videos, but we understand that in education, the more intimate instruction you get with your coach or your mentor, just the more successful normally you'll be. And so just tell everybody about like how you've been and like, you know, how often they get you as a coach. Just like, all right, they know they're going to learn about real estate flipping, negotiating deals, contract, how to start their business, all those things. You can of what they'll learn, but also what do they get? Some of the commitment they get in the Cash Buyers Academy 1 year coaching at 90% off right now.
Yep. Hey King, you're also like kind of going in and out, so I don't know, like your audio is going in and out, but I do hear you're echoing. We're hearing a lot of that, so I don't know if it's the other phone or something. So
let me try to get off this signal.
I'm not sure if you guys can hear me. Jay Auto.
See if that's better. All right.
Yeah, I can hear you a lot better now.
Thank you guys for tuning in tonight, Facebook. That better?
That's a lot better now. Can you hear me?
All right, bet. Go for it.
Okay.
Yep, I hear you.
Okay, perfect. All right, cool. So a lot of the things that you all can expect in Cash Buyers Academy, and the way we created this academy, because we wanted it to be almost like the hand-holding process, right? So we wanted to make sure that we was offering enough weekly accountability to keep the momentum in this business, right? I've taken a lot of real estate courses, and I've also been a part of a few real estate courses in my 2 years as a real estate coach. And what I realized is that, you know, the information is always great, right? Wholesaling, it's not a secret how you do it, right? Everyone has a different theory or a way that they say it that pops better than other ways and the way they teach it. But what I realized is that in order to really see certainly a mass of people, right? Some people are just natural that they can take some information, go out there and apply it and become successful, right? But our goal is to really bridge this gap, right? We don't want to just have a walkway, but we want to have a bridge so that more people can be successful in the real estate investing industry. So with that being said, we knew that more education, daily education and weekly education and accountability will give our students the more success that they need. So we offer multiple weekly calls per week, which we're teaching PowerPoint lessons, we're doing role playing, we're doing scripting, we're doing student hot seats where we're literally taking students, putting them on the hot seat on that call. We're dissecting their businesses. I'm asking them the tough questions. I'm really trying to open their minds so that they know what they should be thinking about as a business owner, right? And it's really helpful because some people get on these calls and don't know where to start. They have all the information, but they still don't know how to start. So they have myself. They have access to our community of Cash Buyers Academy where they can say, what should I do first? What are the first things I should be doing? What should I do today? And you're going to get a game plan, and we're going to hold you accountable to make sure that you get that done so that we can see progress in you. And I think that that's what's so important in Cash Buyers Academy is that we go through your progress with you. We go through your journey with you. From your first hot seat, there's students that, like Leo Roscoe, one of our rock star students, you know, he went on his first hot seat back in August. And literally, he took that game plan and 60 days later closed 2 wholesale deals, and he's already up over 30 grand in his business, right? We have other students, Darielle Johnson in Houston, had a game plan early on. She started in September. 30 days after her game plan, she closed her first deal, made $4,900 on her check, right? And, you know, we got Mike from North that's in the building. You know, Mike's one of our students. Mike allowed me to partner up with him in Newark, New Jersey, close 2 Duke triplexes where we'll be making $36,000 in January 2020. He trusted me not only as his coach, but as someone to come in there and help him. And it was a great opportunity for Mike to learn. And we made $36,000. But if Mike is on this call, I seen him pop in there. We really could have made probably $60,000, $70,000. But he learned a lot during this lesson. And this is just a fraction of the testimonials that we really have going on in Cash Buyers Academy. You know, so.
No, that's why I'm most excited too. Is like I feel like we put together. So again, 2014, I've been trying to figure this out: how to educate the community as the mass of our community, but without burning stuff out, because it is very time to
Right.
and give this information. Right, it's very time consuming. So since 2014. We've educated over 300,000 students, not to mention the millions. But with this program, we're able to do it and actually give the hand-holding and the coaching intimacy large level. What I realized what I needed for you.
Yeah.
Not something I could do on my own in regards to running all the businesses and educating to that level of pouring in. But now that there's two of us and you
Right.
went 7 years of the training, it's not like you're like somebody who got it in 2 years and trying to regurgitate. Like you literally studied all this information and you applied it.
Right.
I've literally, because you were a coaching client of mine, or one of my
Literally.
I literally remember giving you a game plan, like you gave Leo a game plan, and you
I was gonna tell
plan.
that story next.
Go ahead, go for it, go for it.
Yeah, people. I think someone's saying a lot of echoing. It maybe still be some echoing going on, but I'm not sure if that's everyone. But no, I think that that's true right there. So two points I want to make, right? So like you had mentioned, I was in the game 7 years, and I was able to come on a coach and then be a assistance to you to continue to bridge that gap, right? I just got off of one of our Cash Buyer Academy calls, right? And we have a brother, Leroy, and Leroy's out of Pennsylvania, right? Leroy's 26 years old. He has a wife. He just had his first son. Leroy's been in the game 2 years, right? And he just jumped on at the end of the call to speak to the students. And ultimately, what I took away from that is in 2 years, Leo has automated his business, grew himself. He's making consistent money, $20,000 to $30,000 per month. And he's in the process now of starting to build his real estate investing portfolio, right? And what I got from that was, it took me 6 years to get here, right? Like I bought a couple properties in 2015, 2016, but to be intentional about it, it took me 6 years. I'm 1 year older than Leroy, right? But Leroy's doing it in 2 years. And I told him, I said, this is what Jay Morrison Academy, Cash Buyers Academy, my legacy, your legacy is all about. It's not about me teaching everybody so that they do it longer than me. The real goal is to watch everybody get it faster, right? Because my story, it sounds great, but when you find a Leroy that does it in 2 years, that's a family man and really is on his journey, that's how we pass. That's legacy right there, right? And we continue this pattern. Then Leroy teaches somebody that gets it in a year or even 2 years or 3 years. He put his wife in his business. Like the things that I use him as an example, because he's the great example for young black men as well as women. But for our kings on the call, this is another black man under 30 doing it in 2 years, right? And I did it in 6 years. So that was the one story I wanted to talk, and those are other great highlights and testimonials you get in Cash Buyers Academy. But going back to 2018, when I invested in coaching with you, right, and how I became a coach in Cash Buyers Academy, is because I seen that gap, right? Because I was a student in Jay Morrison Academy, right? And when I was in Jay Morrison Academy, I got so much value and so much game and learned about credit. That's the first time I ever took a step to fixing my credit. Also, my first wholesale deal, the concept of wholesaling, I learned through Jay Morrison Academy. But on my journey, I realized that what lacked for someone like me was the hand holding, right? I needed somebody that I could nag. I needed somebody I can bother because I wanted everything to be perfect. So before I would call a seller, I just wanted the comfort for somebody just to answer one question for me, right? And we didn't have that all the time in in Jay Morrison Academy. We had our weekly calls, and you had to kind of get on there. And I still remember I would have calls, and then I'd just be so nervous when my time popped up. Damn, I forgot my call. I forgot my question. What up, King? How you doing, right? And sometimes, certainly being new, being a high school dropout, not coming from these talents and these skills of sales and articulation, it can get intimidating for a young black man, young black woman in this industry, such a dominant industry and something we're not used to. So when I was sitting on my calls, literally, I paid King Jay $15,000 to mentor me. But I was on the call being a giver and being intentional and just acting on purpose. And I'm like, yo, King, you know what? I appreciate the game, but let's talk about something else that I'm seeing in JMA, right? Because I'm all JMA. Like, I've always supported Jamie. No matter what mentor or anybody else I've learned from, it always comes back to Jay Morrison, Jay May, because it just matters to me, right? To push it that way. So I was teaching like, yo, King, this is the gap. Like, I got this wholesale game. I went out. I seek some really good information that taught me the same stuff you taught me, but also took it to the next level, right? And boom, I'm just dropping game on King, dropping game. And King just in mid-sentence like, yo, King, stop. This is what we gonna do, right? And the rest was history, right? I didn't know that I was just being selfless. I was really like, yo, King, I'm gonna give you this game for free. Implement it into the academy. Like, I don't even care if I don't make no money out of it. I just really care about the vision that you got, right? And within 3 to 4 weeks later, I was down in Atlanta, in front of a $1,500, probably a $15,000 camera, actually. And the rest, like you said, the rest has been history since, man. You pushed me into another calling that I wasn't aware of or prepared for. Didn't think I was even worthy enough to be behind cameras or educate people on that level, but we here today.
That's super solid. I talk though. I'm gonna let you talk and kind of wrap it up. Tell them about what we got for Black Friday, how they going, and encourage them to take this year with us.
Yes. So Legacy Black Friday, family, is an opportunity that we're putting together to continue to bridge this wealth gap, this real estate wealth gap. We're allowing you guys to come on for a year of real estate group coaching, right? It's not a real estate program where you're just getting lessons, but real estate group coaching where you're speaking to myself multiple times per week. You're getting access to a community of like-minded individuals. You're getting access to our curriculum. You're also getting our RBCs. King Jay is throwing his entire curriculum of hundreds of hours of thought out years and years of information on real estate, business, and credit that you guys are getting. On top of that, you're getting just all of this valuable game that's really, really going to take you to that next level, family. So you can check that all for under $500, make an investment in yourself. You're saving over $6,000 for all of this stuff here, where you can join and again get that hand holding, get around that culture. Man, listen, we pull back the onion of the real estate investing business. We pull back the onion of the real estate wholesale business. Teach you ROIs, teach you how to invest in commercial buildings, income producing assets. Man, it's endless, man. The mindset, we really bless you, build up your mindset, which is so important. Teach you how to dig into your life. Use your pains. Use the things that were letdowns in life and turn them into fuel to really fuel you and give. That's pretty much us in a nutshell, man. Come get with the family. Legacy Black Friday, 90% off. This is the best investment you really can make into yourself, because this is going to teach you how to make money out of thin air, man, and be the Leroy, be the Isaac, be the Jay Morrison of your last name.
That's a fact. I know I might be echoing y'all. I'm gonna go, everybody, man. I appreciate everybody kind of chiming into. I'm gonna log you off in case you're echoing.
Yep.
And then I hit you a little later. Love you, bro. Appreciate your time.
Peace, King.
All right, IG. I don't know if it's gonna still echo while I'm on, but I want you guys to meet Isaac, hear his story. It means a lot to me. Think about it. Right now, we're meeting online. We're dialoguing. We're building online. Like, y'all don't, some of you guys don't know me. Some of y'all I don't know, but we see each other. We can comment back and forth, right? And some of you guys are in some of my trainings or have been over the past several years. But imagine training somebody online. Years later, they come to a conference of yours. Years later, they retain you for one-on-one coaching. And then years later, 7 years in, they're now your partner, coming from protege, coming from mentee. And watching this young man go from 21 years old to 27 years old will be a whole different person with a whole different level of assets and wealth based on your training, your mentorship, your coaching, your instruction. And now, with that same gift and that same purpose I saw in him several years ago, he's now bought into it and now he's a qualified and capable teacher, instructor, and coach. And again, I still take calls in our coaching program as well. We teach a real estate math class. We teach commercial real estate. We teach a multifamily apartment syndication. We teach wholesale deals, no money down deals, transactional funding. We teach negotiation. We teach contract reading. We teach the tools, technology, and softwares you need. In our RBC course, teach you everything about bookkeeping and accounting for your business, S Corp, C Corp, sole proprietorship, LLC. What's the difference between all those different entities? We teach business marketing, financial modeling. We just give so much game, over 200 free lessons and 1 year of private group coaching with us. 1 year, you locked in. So that means for a whole year, you can push your way all the way through home ownership. And you got somebody to rely on and count on. And then if you want to flip in the meanwhile, you got that too. You want to wholesale in the meanwhile, you got that too. If you don't know what that means basically legally brokering deals with no license, essentially, the easiest way to put it. Right, doing the money down deals as an owner, doing quick flips, same day flips, creating money out of thin air. Because the 5 principles of legacy we spoke of today, and I want to now not reverse engineer, I want to start from the beginning. The first principle is you must know how to create cash. In order to build a financial legacy, you must know how to create cash, revenue, income. Number 2 is once you can create the cash, revenue, and income, you must be able to be a financial steward for that income and be able to keep the money. Keep the cash, currency, assets, or wealth. Then after that, the third principle is you must be able to grow the cash, assets, or wealth. Remember, so you create the money, then you keep the money, then you grow the money. Then from there, after growing it, you learn how to protect it. Insurances, tax mitigation strategies, corporate veil strategies, trust strategies. Then you learn how to pass it down properly to your heirs. That's legacy. Is keeping the cash, passing it on. So thank you guys for tonight's lecture, for attending. Hope you took some notes. Hope you got some game and value. I look forward to being your mentor, being your coach, becoming a part of this family, see what we got to offer. And again, happy weekend to you all. Hi, honey. The Queen's right on standby. So beautiful. Guys, you get RBCs with this. You get my commercial real estate course with this. You get 200 free lessons, home ownership course with this, beginner's course with this, all that in 1 year coaching, 90% off, ends midnight Cyber Monday, right? That's legacyblackfriday.com to get in our program. That's 4 video coaching sessions per week for an entire year, plus all your scripts, tools, softwares, resources, access to funding, and all that. All right, love y'all. Have a great night. Enjoy the family, and I'll be tapped in tomorrow. On look out for another lecture. We're going to try to do, I might be feeling like one of these a day. I just want to teach, that's all. I want to get some game. 5 principles of financial legacy. Create cash, keep cash, grow cash, protect cash, pass it on. Peace.